do these things in order. But that was my.
Yeah.
That. So you do. You can use it.
Yeah, painting.
Yeah.
And then you're
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah,
But that's.
Rick's fine, they don't know.
Because of the
What?
5 minutes. Supporters.
So we're gonna watch it here. You can't watch it both places. I can't anyway.
Well, if you watch it here.
Okay.
They're all set. When it's 6
Is that a stuff now down in the corner?
Oh, and I could do that.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock, so I'll call this meeting to order. We are recording. If you could rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice, for all. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes from January 27th ×2 and February 3.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for January 27th. ×2 and February 3rd.
I'll second that. Any further discussion, edits, corrections? No. All those in favor? Passes 2-0. You have anything to report?
Why? No.
I have a couple different adjustments as well. Oh, we're not on them, sorry.
You're good?
I have a couple donations, one donation from Beth Dickens for $120 to the library community center. And $100 donation from Benjamin Levine to the library,
How much?
100,
And how much was the Dickens?
120.
And we're also going to add approving 4 abatements and 2 supplemental. We do that a little bit later. Any public comments for anything that's not on the agenda? Okay, about to read a prepared statement. So bear with me. Last week, a week ago today, we called an emergency meeting on February 3rd. The meeting could not be scheduled in the normal way because it was dependent on documentation that was being provided by a third party to the town. And we had to call it when it was in. The paperwork was a resignation, and it was not appropriate to wait until tonight, a full week later, to act on the resignation. After we held the meeting, but actually Sue knew it ahead of time, Jen didn't act on it. We became aware that we inadvertently did not provide all the notices required by FOA for an emergency meeting. Have to provide additional notification to the newspapers if you have an emergency meeting that's inside 7 days. We don't have to tell the newspaper when we're having a normal meeting, but if it's an emergency one, we have to tell them. We didn't. So out of an abundance of caution, we're revisiting the matter that was on the agenda and was voted for. So specifically tonight, we are going to vote to accept Penny Alley's resignation effective February 3rd. What's your motion?
I make a motion that we accept that resignation.
I second that. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Now I would like to add some comments. we are currently asking the Library Community Center Advisory Committee to present some options and recommendations for a way forward. And we would also like to appoint Beverly St. Clair as the interim Library Community Center Director until we work out the details over the next few select board meetings on how to replace those 2 seats. Right now, it's 1 seat, but it could be 2. So I would entertain a motion to appoint Beverly as the interim Library Community Center Director.
So moved.
I second that. Any further discussion? Okay, now,
So, the vote.
oh, I'm sorry, all those in favor? Okay, good cut. Yeah, sure. Okay, now. For those of you who are wanting more information, to be blunt, there will not be more information, but I would like to talk to you about the process so you understand why there won't be more information. The board, which includes the 3 select board members and the town clerk who were present during the executive sessions associated with this, are restricted from making any additional comments regards the circumstances and details of this resignation. And only her letter of resignation and the formal separation agreement are releasable as public information. Now, having said that, I would like to talk in general about the process. Municipalities are required to use, these are specific processes they have to use when handling any personnel matter. Big, small, doesn't make any difference, same process exists. It is always a good idea to recognize people and reward subordinates in public and to discipline and punish them in private. For municipalities in Maine, that is not just a good idea, it is the law. The in-private process could include a presentation of the issues, either informally or in a formal hearing setting, where the employee has the opportunity to explain, correct, and or defend the complaint. At the end of the in-private process, the employer has several possible options, from a letter of counseling, a letter of reprimand, corrective action plan, administrative leave, or even termination or dismissal. Once the results are decided, whatever that issue was, whatever the product is, that does become public information. Not the process, but the result, what's going forward. But anywhere in that process, the employee can resign rather than continue the process or the investigation. If an employee resigns, the personnel matter and municipal discipline stops. And that information is then no longer releasable. So I hope that answers everybody's question on what they're going to hear from the town officially. And again, I'll say that's what the select board is speaking for the municipality and the clerk who was present during the process. We cannot comment beyond we've accepted her resignation. Pretty minute decided. We're going to see if there's something we can get out of the way quick and easy for people who want to get out the door. Old business. Last meeting, we had a bill from RCS Assessment. They're the ones doing the town revow. And it seemed a little high, so we went back and checked the numbers, and we told the treasurer not to only pay half of them. But we went back and checked to see what was budgeted and what we had agreed to, and we are obligated to pay the full amount of what they asked for, plus a few $1,000s more that they can ask for again through the end of the year. So with that, you can now make sure we cut the check for the other half. New business, we need to set a town meeting date. And right now, the town meeting actually starts, the actual town meeting date is June 9th, which is election day. So we do this year, just like we did last year. Last year, I think, was the first time we did it. We actually start the town meeting the morning of the elections here at the ballot boxes. And then somebody is designated to stay here during that time period. And the reason is because during that's when select board members, and if we had another school board member would be elected. So it would be a private, regular vote at that. Then it would adjourn. And we would open again at the next portion of the meeting, and that's the date we need to pick. And it can either be the 16th, which is a week later, or it can be the 23rd, which is 2 weeks after we vote. I have no druthers. I just assume do it the 16th. Because there's not as much time between voting and.
Yeah.
You guys have okay. All right, so we'll set the town meeting for the 16th. I think we normally do those at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
And we try to do it at the Ash Points.
Yes.
Okay, and you're gonna talk to them
Hmm?
and, okay, see if we can get it. All right. Next item on the agenda, discuss the size of the select board. And this is a citizen's request. It has come up in the past. We are a 3-person select board. Have been for many, many years. A few years ago, we brought it to the town to see if they would be willing to entertain or have the select board look into expanding the board to 5 people. It was voted down, but that was years ago, and things have changed since then. Right now, we had with John out, it's just the 2 of us. There are a whole lot of complications with having a 3-member board. There are, especially in this day and age, there are a lot more things that the board has to do. Back 20 years ago, we met once a month and the town ran by itself, and the select board really didn't do a whole lot else besides vote on the money. That's not true anymore. Select board has a lot of responsibility and a lot of things that they have to do. The solid waste committee, the ordinance review committee, the shellfish committee. There are other things that the select board has to do, and splitting 3 into 2 complicates it greatly. But even for 3 people, it's a chore. So I support it. I like the idea. And so what we're faced with now is how to implement. And there are 2 ways we can do it. One is we can have a special town meeting before the 11th of March to vote on, to approve expanding us from 3 to 5. And then at the next town meeting, we would vote for 3 select board members with staggered terms, which would bring us up to 5. I personally think that that's ill-advised, but I will defer to what everybody else wants to do. And the reason is because having a special town meeting in February or March is not a good idea. There are just so many people that are not here. And so we end up with just a handful of people that are participating in it. And so we have always tried to avoid having a special town meeting, especially during the winter time. The other is there's a whole lot that has to happen between now and that special town meeting. The warrant has to be written up. It has to spell out what the process is going to be. How do we distinguish? Do people do we have everybody run and the top three get them, and which positions do they get? Do they get 1 year, 2 year, 3 years? That all has to be spelled out in the warrant. The other part is, and the reason it has, I think, failed in the past is because we have a hard time finding people to volunteer in this town for anything. Yeah, and we have never had, well, I take that back. Maybe 15, 16 years ago, we had 2 people running for 1 seat. But all the rest of the time, we have had nobody running several times. And it came to town meeting and somebody from the floor said, I'm willing to run, and so they were voted in unanimously. So it has always been a chore getting people to serve, especially as select board members, but any kind of position in the town. So it's gonna be a huge effort between that. And if you approve it, if it's approved on the 11th of March, prior to the 11th of March, whoever is going to run has to have their papers in 30 days later. Because that has to be in 60 days prior to the election. So there's a whole lot that has to happen between now and then. Trying to find people who are willing to run, I think is gonna be difficult. I think the more measured approach, and probably the one that would be more successful, is to have this warrant article on our regular town meeting in June. And then at our next town meeting in 27, we would actually vote in the 3 additional, or the 2 additional planting. Have I stepped all over you?
Whenever you're done.
I'm done. You-
I, well, many of us have been talking for years with increased urgency about the need to go to a 5-member select board. And we need it as soon as we can feasibly do it. Particularly given the current health status of select board members. I have sent out messages this weekend to about 90 people. I have heard back from a good many. Everyone who responded said, oh, please, as soon as we could possibly do it. As for, can we have a meeting in March, it would, say it's like March 9th. I think we can. I think people are really motivated now to do something about it because many of them see what a struggle it is to have a 3-member select board. As for locating 3 candidates, we already have identified one. I had feelers from a couple others. And yes, if you're going to go the nomination route, you'll have to do it by April, I believe. Whatever.
Right.
But we can, if we find people later, if we have only 1 or 2 by then, we can find people who say, yes, I will be nominated from the floor. I don't have any doubt that we can find the 3 this time. And I think a lot of the people I've been talking to share my confidence that this time really is different.
And I don't think we can nominate from the floor anymore. Because
No, there can be write-ins.
write-ins, correct,
Exactly, I'm sorry, I misspoke, yes, because of the way
right, so we now do
there is.
regular ballot on,
And if somebody in May says, I'll run, we get the word out, write this person in. We can do that. It doesn't best. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else there's.
and
I had a question, do we need an informational meeting in between, or is that an optional thing?
we don't really need an informational meeting.
Okay.
It's not required. The only time it's required is on land use ordinances. You are required to do one.
Okay,
But for anything else, you don't need it, but you have to post it 7 days prior. So the warrant has to be complete and postable.
right, but this is others have done this. There are models. It's pretty cut and dried.
Well,
You wanna go to 5 members? You wanna, if you, as you say, if you wanna say of the new members, which length of term, et cetera.
and that'll have to be spelled out in the warrant.
Okay, but folks have done it before.
Right,
I don't see that as a problem. Do we have to post anything in the newsletter, in the newspaper?
if you're doing it more than 7 days prior, you have to post it in the way you normally post things, which is post office here, there's a couple other places that we post it, and putting it out online. There is no longer a requirement to go to the
Go to
news,
the press.
to the press.
We can do that. I think we can pull this off. And I'd like to hear from other folks here. Because I think there's a lot of agreement.
And the only other thing I'll add to it before I say, okay, let's do it as quick as we can. Because I do think it's important that we do it sooner rather than later.
I agree.
If you look around, Town of Liberty had a 3-member board and they lost 2 of them. They were down to 1. Freedom, that's right.
There is some-
Freedom and Liberty, same thing. Yeah. But the town just it could not function.
Right.
They had to have people step in.
And we see ourselves staring down
Yep.
the barrel of that gun, yes.
Agree.
So that is why I really think this time is really big.
The only other thing I'll add is right now, we, the town, are relying on you to finish the ordinance review for the
Yeah,
mineral extraction.
yeah,
And that's a huge effort that's
Yeah.
gonna happen during the same time period.
yeah.
So now, if you're running this, heading this up, which is what
Well,
you're
I
doing,
think I'll get help.
okay.
I'm writing the ordinance. I think I'm on my own, but I think I can get help with this.
Yeah. Your thoughts?
I agree. Soon as we can.
Yes, ma'am.
I think this is the best thing we can do, and pushing it down to voting in 27 is not negotiable. It's too far down the road. We need 5 now, and I know that Sandra can do it, and I'll help her, and anyone else I know will help her. But you haven't had a vote for 5 selectmen for more than 20 years, so the circumstances are a lot different today than back then. Secondly, I just make this point, you folks need to mentor and teach other people to be the select board. When other people did try to run, they were stopped, and hopefully that doesn't happen ever again. Where somebody ran for select board, but someone came up at the select board meeting, which was not called for. And you can shake your head.
Yeah, I'm confused. I just don't know.
Well, I can tell you out on a private conversation. But the thing is, this is so important that we need to have 5 people. We need to do it now, not down the road. It is so important that the town has qualified people that want to learn, because we have not done a good job mentoring new people to be select board. And that information is so valuable. Jeff, you've been on the select board for so long, you need to be teaching more people what is necessary, as did John. And if something happened, there's gonna be people that don't know what to do, and we can't be there. And so I hope that you will go with what Sandra says, and we do the special election in town meeting in March. And I will say that when we accepted the building for Guilford Butler, it was in the winter. 33 people came to that special town meeting, and we had it in the winter, so we can do another one in the winter. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Just a comment, you know, I think I've been at all the town meetings over the last 20+ years. And I think at the last town meeting, the discussion was hiring a town manager. I don't think it was going for 5-person selectmen. Again, I might be wrong, but I think the bulk of the conversation was, you know, a town manager, and the town people at that point voted it down. All right, I guess the question I have is, who is the selectman that will be up for renewal in June?
John,
John will be,
and John has told me that he's not planning to run again,
okay,
that this is his last year.
okay. So, you know, even more of a reason to consider Saunders,
Which is why we would need to find 3 people.
but that's all I have.
Anybody else? Anybody at home? I don't see any little hands. Yes,
I see Sally's, but I think she's petting her cat.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but this is really what's lovely about this community is it's 1,511 people plus minus. And the number of people who actually do volunteer as a proportion to do so is really remarkable. And what I would love to see is this is an opportunity for younger people in the community to begin to take a leadership position. So not everybody looks like Jeff and me. Because I think that the vibrancy of this community is dependent on the number of young people coming up who feel invested in the process, invested in the government, invested in the streets and the transfer station and the fire department, all those. So I think opening up this opportunity and then explicitly going and recruiting people who we know have the civic capacity to serve in this role, I think it's a great opportunity for the town. So I want
I hear a lot of yays, I hear no nays. No nays. All right, good. And we're agreed. As fast as you can.
Don't you need to vote? Please,
I don't think so.
I think it's a good idea to have a motion and a vote in the record.
Yeah, please for this,
Okay,
just do it.
I would entertain a motion to approve Saunders' idea to as quickly as possible shift to a 5-member.
So moved.
I'll second that. Further discussion. All those in favor?
Now, I have a modest and slightly out of order request, which is that if you're gonna have a special town meeting in March, we have hanging out 2 forest reserve matters that need to be voted on. And if we could be at that same meeting,
Yes,
all right.
I think that's a good idea. Are you planning to set a date today? Are you hoping to set a date today?
Well, actually, my name didn't quite match yours, and I thought we had to do it by the 9th.
I counted back and it looks like the 11th,
So let's not,
but
On the 10th.
if we do it that first week.
10th is a Tuesday,
Yeah.
how about March 10th? Okay.
That'll probably be our select board meeting too, won't it?
Yeah, and we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, Jeff,
yes,
is there I'm sorry, I was having some technological difficulties. I have one watch out for here, which is with a 5-member board, any 2 members can converse on issues. And if I'm one of those 2 members, I can then lobby a 3rd member. So it raises the specter of bag job kinds of voting manipulation, or what I really despise, which is predetermined outcomes. So that's not a reason to not do this, but it is a watch out for when we vet or start to think about who the candidates are.
Yeah, and that's a dual-edged sword, because one of the advantages to having five is that two members can have coffee and talk about town business without having a meeting and an agenda.
Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So that is a double-edged sword. It's a balancing act, and we live in a community, I think, where trust is a must. So we should trust the people that we put in these positions.
Oh,
I would just add to what Walter said, though, that apart from, working up small cabals here and there, that two members could form a subcommittee and research some issue, do the kind of work that you cannot now do outside of an official meeting.
One instructs the other and is teaching and helping them.
Exactly.
It's a good thing.
And somehow most of our neighboring towns have messaged it.
yeah. I'd be disparaging, but if Cushing can put together five members. Okay. Good. Moving on.
Do you wanna set a time for that?
Probably 5 o'clock.
Yeah, because our
Meeting
meeting
at
will
6.
follow.
Six?
Well, because we have a select board meeting that night too, so. Do you,
Is
should
it,
we meet at 5 and have them?
Oh, no, then, oh. I see, yeah.
well,
I just,
usually what we found is that 6 o'clock is, a lot of people, 6 o'clock is too late. And so that's why we do the town meetings normally at 5.
well, our town meeting in June always starts at 7. You can start coming through the door at 6, but it begins at 7.
Is it?
6, and then we've done 6:30 too, but
Yeah,
but you have to think of people getting off work
Right,
at
right,
5
right,
o'clock.
right. I'm easy either way, long as I'm in bed by 9.
Yeah.
They'll be right after time change.
Yeah. So we wanna go with 6?
6 and 7? No, we're doing 5 and 6.
We'll just do 6 and after the town.
Okay.
After the town meeting.
Immediately, yeah.
And so that's gonna be a select board meeting.
Afterwards.
Afterwards.
People vote remotely at town meetings.
No. It's gonna be here.
I mean,
That's a good question. I ideally here,
What's the capacity of the room?
I think it's 100. Something like
I think
that.
that'd be-
Yeah, I think
I know, we don't have.
It'd only be a problem, right?
you move these out of the way and push back, you can get more.
You can always move out.
Yeah, if it gets to be too large, I'll talk to David. So we've done it out there.
That's true. What's the temperature in March up there?
Let's go.
It should be balmy,
Just either.
Okay.
righty? So let's revisit the town meeting. We said 5 o'clock with the regular town meeting in June,
Oh,
but
right.
is 7?
We've,
What is 7?
we've always opened the doors at 6 and you start at 7 o'clock in the past
Or
for town meeting.
I wasn't there last year, I'd have to.
that's just out of my brain. I don't.
That just sounds too late for me, but.
Trust me on this one, I've been cleansing things out of my dad this week.
So 7 o'clock? Okay. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Set the dates for the. Are you there, Walter? Timeline of the dates for the budget committee meetings?
His name's up there, but
Disappeared once for the moment.
you sent us a list, didn't you? I thought I put them in.
Did you call my name?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about dates for the budget committee.
Okay.
meetings. 1, 2. So it looks like three days in April. For the actual committee, somewhere around the middle of April.
So 13th, 14th, 15th, 14th, 15th, 16th. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm good with doing the 13th, 14th, and 15th, and then using the 16th as the backup and.
Yeah, that's what I thought you'd come up with, so. I cleared my calendar. I don't know about anybody else on the committee.
So you start on Monday?
Yeah, start on Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday is the backup day.
And those are all at 4.
I'll defer to. Walter, if he has a particular time that's, I think we still got some members on the board that, or the committee that,
Yeah, I think I'd start with 5,
okay,
not
Monday.
knowing everybody's status, work status, but
That is later than we've done.
Yeah. I think they were 4 o'clock before.
And Moira just left. She was the one before that was. That we had to accommodate, but she's not on the committee on it anymore, is she?
Well,
no, she's not. But so Kate Green works. Not, yeah. She's the only one that I could raise as a potential conflict.
Well, you wanna put it soft at 5:30 and then, if you wanna change that with your committee, I'm open for either way, going either way.
Okay.
So 13, 14, 15, back up on the 6th. Means the public hearing for the ordinance review committee has to be different.
we better send those sometime soon.
Yeah. So now we need a couple days when we're gonna get with the department heads, that's you and me. So,
Thank you.
you're not good on the 24th, are you?
Are we looking at March or February?
This is February, this is just the select board getting with the department heads. Do the budgets.
No, I'm not available on the 24th.
Well, we're meeting on the 25th.
Right.
So you wanna do the 25th and the 26th?
Yeah.
Okay.
What time is the 26th?
Whatever's good for you.
I have to take someone to an appointment. Could we do 5?
5 o'clock on 25th and 26th. Okay, the other thing that we discussed, and I think that's been taken care of, the glitch we had in the plowing contract and payments, but I think we've resolved that, haven't we?
Well, you just told me to pay him what we should have paid him
Yeah.
this last pay period, but we were gonna talk more about it tonight. Should we just cut him a check for the amount?
I would do it over a period because
Okay,
right now
Yeah.
just increase the amount that we, What
yeah,
for?
and then in April, once tax money start rolling in,
okay,
even what's left.
okay.
Okay, now we've got 2 executive sessions. Before we do that, monthly reports. This is code off. Oh, my God, there you go. Another great job. I like reading it. Good. So keep it up. And appointments, I don't think we've got any other, we just made the one.
The
Oh,
donations and the abatements.
yeah, abatements, let's do the abatements. Supplements.
So, abatement for Dylan and Joyce Cross. Map lot 010-014-002. In the amount of $6,458.04.
With the supplement.
A supplement. For Dylan playing that.
Yeah, this is the abatement.
Okay, so the
Abatement supplement.
the abatement was for Craig and Vanessa Benner. On lot 010-014-002 for $6,458.04. And the supplement to Dylan and Joyce Cross. 010-014-002 for $6,458.04.
Second. All those in favor?
Next one is Dylan and Joyce Cross. Abatement. Map and lot 005-007-004 for $1,156.24. And then the supplement for Craig and Vanessa Benner. Lot 005-007-004. In the amount of $1,156.24.
Second. All those in favor?
And then, 2 abatements for Samuel Murphy. Lot number 011-012-007. For $274.25, the first one, and the second one for $325. Even.
Second. And those 2 abatements are for,
Holmes did not get his homestead
yeah.
reimbursed,
And
homestead.
this is the second time I've heard this today, that people don't know that they're eligible for the homestead exemption. And in this case, it's saving him how much? $250?
Well, $325 1 year and $274. But you have to apply for it, right?
Right, you have to apply for it, but a lot of people are eligible for it who haven't applied for it, so. Please do. And donations.
I move that we accept the donation from Beth Pickens in the amount of $120
Second. That's to the library.
to the library. Was that library and community center? Okay, library and community center.
All those in favor? Thank you.
And a donation from Robert Levine for $100 to the library and community center.
Second. All those in favor? And I'd entertain a motion to approve the warrants that we're gonna sign tonight.
Make a motion that we approve the warrants.
Second. All those in favor? Uh, Any other correspondence? Anything else to come before the board before we go into executive session? Too low. Back to back.
I'd just like to get with you, not now, after, to get a sense of what needs to go in the notice and the warrants and yada yada and timing.
Okay.
Jeff,
Yes.
I'm sorry if I missed this. There was an update on the revaluation.
Yeah. The update was that they had billed us. And we had sticker shock on what they had billed us. So at the last meeting. We didn't have the real good numbers on what we had budgeted for, so we told. The treasurer to only pay half of it until we figured it out. Since then, we figured it out, so we do owe it to him, so we paid him. It's no further, I think on the, they're scheduled to have a public meeting on,
So,
when is it? The 17th?
Yep.
Yeah, the 17th. Here.
so a week from now.
Okay, so they have, on their website, they have a timeline, but there's no data in it, so that public meeting is of interest to me. Thank you. February 17th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we do need to get with them to get that information out.
Yeah, he said he would send me the timeline, but I haven't seen anything yet.
Thank you.
thanks.
All right, last chance.
I got one question.
Yes, sir.
Is there a town ordinance regarding, tearing down a building after it's had a fire, right? And I'm thinking of a house over in Westbrook Street. That's been there in that condition for months and months and months. I don't know if there's such a thing as an attractive nuisance. You know, somebody going in there and get hurt somehow and.
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, there is no specific ordinance on it, but the health officer or a health officer can determine that it's becomes a health hazard and require it to be torn down. And we have done that in the past. There was right there on the corner of Buttermilk and 73. Right. It took about almost a year before it got to the point where we could do anything about it. So. Did you have one? Did you want to?
No, I think if you want to instruct me to go look at it, or from the point of view of health.
Yeah,
I was there from the point of view of fire, now.
yeah. Yeah, it's probably a good idea, but right now, everything's frozen over, so, you know, it's not gonna be.
It's not
To
an
effect.
I'm almost certain it's uninhabited.
Right. Chris down.
I don't know about it, but I think all we wanted to do was free the road.
Oh, is that it?
It should be, yeah, but this is what, it's the original document. Thought he didn't need to do that, but I guess he's on. I can always let him know tomorrow, we do. Also didn't go. Yeah, the motion. To executive session.
Oh, to go into.
You didn't go into it.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Oh, I just want to make sure you did that.
You guys can come up here if you want to.
I was trying to request that we be permitted to move closer.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're going to enter into, I make a motion that we enter into executive
Just a minute.
section for a tax abatement request pursuant to 36 MRSA 841 and also with 4056F. Which authorizes us to do it in executive session. Yes, opposed to Lewis.